Hey guys, so today we're going to be doing a review of radical operations and introducing division of our radicals. So we're just going to jump straight into the odds, and then you guys will be doing the evens. On this first section, we're simplifying using division. So we're going to simplify the same way we would normally. So since this is an odd index, we know that negative is going to come out, and then we're going to rewrite 9 as its prime factors. So 9 is 3 squared. And then we'll do the same thing on the bottom with 1024, which is 2 to the 10th power. And then we'll simplify like we normally do, where we take out anything that has a power that matches the index or greater. So the power of 2 does not match the index of 5, so we can't take it out, so we'll leave the top the way that it is. So we have negative 5th root of 9 over, and then we're going to simplify this, and so we've got 10 divided by 5, which is 2 with no remainder. So we're going to take out 2 with a power of 2. And then with my final answer, we'll just rewrite it with 2 squared as 4. Nothing else can be simplified, so we leave it like that. So we'll do the same thing on number 3, but on number 3 I see square root of 4, which is 2, and square root of 36, which is 6. So then we can simplify from here. We've got 4 over 12, which is 1/3. Then on number 5, we've got negative 10 underneath that radical there, so we're going to take out that negative 1. 5th root of 10 is 2 times 5, which cannot be simplified. And then 12/15 is 3 to the 5th power times 5. And so we can't take anything out from the top, so we've got negative 5th root of 10. And the denominator, we can take out all of these 3's with no remainder. So we would get 3 5th root of 5. And we're not going to rationalize the denominator today, so we'll just leave it like that. Then on this next section, we are multiplying. So remember, we take our coefficients together, and we take what's underneath the radical, the radicand, together. So on number 7, we've got a negative 3 as a coefficient and no coefficient on the second one, which means it just has a coefficient of 1. So we're going to keep that negative 3 the way that it is. And remember, with our radicands, we multiply numbers with numbers, so we get 10, and variables with variables, r cubed. And so now our new radicand is 10r cubed, and so we will find the prime factors of 10, which are 2 and 5. And we have r cubed. Our index is 2, so we can take out r's with 1 remaining, but we can't take out a 2 or a 5 because their powers aren't greater than 2. So we've got negative 3 times r, square root of 10 times r. So negative 3 r, square root of 10r. Then on number 9, we're going to distribute that square root of 15. So we're going to make sure that it multiplies by both terms. So we end up with 5, whole number on the outside, square root of 15. So we treat our radicals like variables, remember? And then we multiply radicands by radicands. So 15 times 5 is 75. And then remember, in order for us to be able to add, we need to make sure that the radicand and the index are exactly the same. So we're going to simplify these two radicals. So we've got 5 square root of 3 times 5, so we can't simplify there, plus square root of 3 times 5 squared. So we can take out these 5's with no remainder since my index is 2. So we end up with 5 square root of 15 plus 5 square root of 3. And since my radicand and index don't match on both, we've got square root of 15 and square root of 3. They're not exactly the same. That's my final answer. So then on the next part, we've got some foiling to do. So we'll take our first term, multiply by both of those last terms there. So remember, our radicands multiply together. We've got 3 times 5 underneath this radical. And then we're going to keep that coefficient the same. And 6a, we're going to take 3 and 2a. Then the same thing here gives me a square root of 10. And we'll take those 2's together, and we get square root of 4a. Now we'll simplify as best we can. We saw in the problem before that square root of 15 can't be simplified any further since it's just 3 times 5. 6 is 2 times 3, so that can't simplify any further since we don't have powers of 2 or greater. And square root of 10 can't be simplified since it's 2 times 5. But 4 is 2 squared. So I'm going to be able to take out a 2 here. So we end up with square root of 15 plus 4 square root of 6a plus square root of 10 plus 2 square root of a. And since none of them match underneath those radicals, I can't combine them, so this would be my final answer. Now on numbers 13 and 15, we're just simplifying based on their indexes. So we're going to find the prime factors for 128. And we get 2 to the 7th power, and then we've got that x to the 6th power in there. And so both of those powers are greater than 4, so we'll take them and divide. 7 divided by 4 is 1 with a remainder of 3. 6 divided by 4 is 1 with a remainder of 2. So then we've got 3 on the outside times a 2 times an x. 4th root of 2 cubed times x to the power of 2. 3 times 2 is 6, so we've got 6x on the outside there. 2 cubed is 8, we've got 8x squared. And we'll do the same thing with number 15. We're going to find the prime factors of 50. We have 5 squared and 2. So my index is 2, so anything with a power of 2 or greater can come out. 2 divided by 2 is 1. 4 divided by 2 is 2. Neither of them have any remainders. So we end up with negative 8 times 5 times k squared, square root of 2. Negative 8 times 5 is negative 40, k squared, square root of 2. And then on the next two sections, we are just converting between rational exponents and radicals. So remember, when we have our powers, it's going to be power over index is my exponent. So for my exponent on number 17, I'm going to have 10n to the power of, if there is no power written, it's a 1, and my index is 4. So we could say that there's a power of 1 there. And so these are the easy ones because that's where I would stop. And then on number 19, we're going to do the same thing, but remember this is power and this is index. So we've got 7b underneath a radical with an index of 2 and a power of 5. So we're taking 7 to the 5th power and b to the 5th power. So we can simplify these radicals. Don't worry about simplifying the exponentials. So we need a power of 2 or greater. 5 divided by 2 is 2 with a remainder of 1. Again, 2 with a remainder of 1. So we've got 7 squared times b squared, square root of 7 times b, which is 49 b squared, square root of 7b. So just make sure that you're getting this practice in with your radical operations, because we will be testing next week on Tuesday, and so we just need to make sure that these are all solidified and we're ready to go, so we're not taking too much time on any of those questions. So make sure that you do the evens on this worksheet, and then whenever you are done, just turn it into Canvas.